If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says. The Rock says, The Rock.
Oh no, sorry, that song is copyrighted. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wrestling Talk Show by Rhys Jones and
Sean Smith, and today we can only say these words: let the Wednesday Night Wars begin.
Yes, this show will be slightly different from our usual ones, where we just cover the pay-per-views which take place on a Sunday every month. Because the start of the Wednesday Night Wars, and the fact that the pay-per-view itself only has 4 confirmed matches,
But that doesn't mean that more will be added in the meantime.
we shall go through everything that has happened in the past week, starting with AEW's Dynamite show.
Yes.
AEW Dynamite went head-to-head with NXT for the first time and won the ratings.
They did, but not by much.
The matches that took place on AEW are as follows.
First, we had
Cody Rhodes, or Cody, taking on Sammy Guevara.
and the winner of that match.
Surprise, surprise, was Cody.
However, despite the best interference from a certain Chris Jericho,
As after the match, there was a bit of interaction between Chris Jericho and Cody with a little thing called a steel chair.
ouch.
Next, we had Brandon Coulter take on Maxwell Jacob Friedman, aka MJF.
And the winner of that match via a submission was MJF.
Not really a surprise there. I mean, they do seem to be wanting to push MJF in the few shows that they have done recently.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we had a match that was originally scheduled to take place all the way back at Double or Nothing.
But due to a certain superstar's injury, that didn't take place.
Well, not necessarily the injury, just contract negotiations, when Hangman Adam Page went head-to-head with former NXT champion Neville Impact.
Copyright. But the winner of that match via a submission was Pac.
Yes, coming out to a victory, something you didn't see that often in the WWE.
What was that company? Oh, that's right, we can't mention it, copyright reasons.
Next was the match which would determine the first AEW Women's Champion, when the first transgender wrestler Nyla Rose would take on
Rio.
Now, size-wise, Nyla Rose had this in the bag and was probably the favourite going into it.
And this match was to crown the very first AEW Women's Champion.
And the luxury of that honour of picking up a title which essentially looks like a toy, may I add.
It goes to...
Ryo.
Yes, it does.
In a
But
very surprising match.
the post-match melee boosted things as Nyla Rose attacked Rio and hit a powerbomb on interviewer Michael Nakasawa, and then set up a death valley drop on the ring apron, only for Kenny Omega to run in and save Riho and deliver a push on Rose.
Which is weird in itself and probably sets up a rematch which will likely take place at AEW's next pay-per-view entitled Full Gear.
Can't wait for that. Now, our next match, our main event of AEW Dynamite was a 6-man tag team match.
Yes,
It was the AEW champion, Chris Jericho, teaming up with the newest members to the AEW roster of former Impact Tag Team Champion, should have mentioned that company, of Santana and Ortiz, taking on the Elite of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
This match was ultimately won by Chris Jericho, Santana and Ortiz. However, it was what happened towards the end of the match and after the match which got everybody's attention.
Oh yes, we do mean that in a big way.
Because during the match, or slightly after, Dean Moxley, I mean John Ambrose, John Moxley made an appearance and played into Kenny Omega like he did at Double or Nothing to hype their match at Full Gear.
Moxley hit a DDT on Omega for a glass table. Ow!
Then there was a beat down of Cody Rhodes.
And the Young Bucks.
Yes, Cody Rhodes after the match just attempted to make the save. Then I believe it was Sammy Guevara
ran in and low-blowed Cody.
Yes, after a handshake earlier on. This would then cause Dustin, aka Goldust,
Copyright.
to come to the ring, which would then cause former WWE superstar and Patreon of People Power, no, not John not John Laurinaitis, but
no.
You know him as Jack Swagger.
He is now known
as Jake Harper.
as Jake Hager.
Jake Harper, same thing. Jake Hager making his appearance in AEW to align himself with Jericho.
Santana and Ortiz.
No, he wants to align himself with a man he once cast Money in the Bank in on. Bad idea.
But it ended with all the individuals that we mentioned after Jericho hit a Judas effect on his number one contender, Cody.
Yeah, that was essentially what happened on AEW. Now we shall be switching companies.
Yes.
To NXT, both brought to us from the company known as the WWE. So join us momentarily.
See you soon.
Somebody let me out, I'm about to face on the rage. I'm piecing the plans together while y'all sleep on the way. That I keep on it 24/7, I'll sleep in the grave. And you can bet that, cause if you're thinking for a minute that you're catching me slipping, you can forget that. It's probably obvious I came for the throne. Snatch the crown from your dome, now the king's come home. I'm taking back what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me. Nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this. Shove it back in the faces you say I'd miss. I'm taking back what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me. Nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this. Shove it back in the faces you say I'd miss. Pay attention, better listen close to the knowledge I'll be dropping off the top. I'm on a mission, so put in the work and then you get the dough. And if you gotta sacrifice it all to get it, then you get it, go. Damn right, that's the mind state of the savage on path with a time frame. Aligned to define phase, drive through the times and the mind games. That's why I do it my way, and I say I'm taking back what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me. Nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this. Shove it back in the faces you say I'd miss. I'm taking back what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me. Nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this. Shove it back in the faces you say I'd miss.
And we are back to bring you the opposition to AEW, which is NXT.
So the very first episode of this NXT was from the Full Sail University in Florida.
And live, not on the WWE Network, but USA. So
what was the first match?
NXT would open up with a NXT Championship match when Adam Cole
Baby.
would defend against Matt Riddle.
And I'll tell you what, this match was unbelievably good.
Takeover quality match.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, let's just say that after close falls and near falls, it was a last shot which caused the freak out. The winner
allowed Baby to retain his NXT Championship.
However, after the match, whilst Adam Cole was celebrating, he would be interfered by former NXT champion himself.
Who we had not seen since SummerSlam.
He's a former NXT champion, two-time Intercontinental champion, half winner of the first Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and the first Universal Champion. Finn Balor made his return permanently, I may add, to NXT.
And things would get even worse for Adam Cole later on in the night.
But we'll get to that later in a moment. Next on the card, we had Io Shirai take on Mia Yim.
And again, in what was a NXT quality takeover match.
But after some back and forth action, it was Io Shirai who picked up a victory.
And our next match was Johnny Gargano against former TM61 tag team member Shane Thorne.
Wasn't he part of WCW?
I don't think so.
But in any event, after a bit of back and forth action here again, it was Mr. Wrestler and Johnny Gargano who picked up the victory.
He would indeed.
Now, it was next, it's Shayna Baszler defending the Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, against Mrs. Gargano, otherwise known as Candice LeRae.
And again, what was a very quality type matchup.
You could say that, but this was probably the most predictable match. Because the winner of the match by submission is Shayna Baszler.
Yes, Shayna Baszler coming out on top against Miss Gargano.
Next, so we have some UK action.
Let's shall.
Pete Dunne took on Danny Burch.
And in what would be a very good matchup between the two superstars.
And finally, a winner after some back and forth action, Pete Dunne. However, things did not go exactly smoothly for Pete Dunne after he'd won this match.
Lights would go out in the arena.
And he was attacked not by the Fiend, not by the Undertaker, but by
the Archer, Damian Priest.
This would then lead into the main event of the evening,
which was for the NXT Championships.
Tag Team
Championships, should I say.
When the remaining members of the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, would take on the Street Profits.
And again, in what was another quality matchup.
But again, also a predictable match.
Because the winners of the match, and still NXT Tag Team Champions, are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And yes, the Undisputed Era still hold all of the gold in NXT.
Except for the women's one.
Except for that, yeah.
However, as Adam Cole came onto the entranceway to celebrate with his faction, he was interrupted by the returning former NXT champion, the man who never lost the NXT championship, also known as Tommaso Ciampa.
who stared down Adam Cole in the face. So it appears that Adam Cole may have 2 challenges for his championship in his near future.
Yes. Next, we shall give you a brief, hopefully brief, rundown of what occurred on Raw and SmackDown after some music.
Adrenaline, the fire I breathe is where I live. Incredible, inimitable. One life to live, I never give up, I never give in. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me, go down in history. Every day I fight to be. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me, go down in history.
So, on top of NXT and AEW going head to head, we also have to deal with some major changes to Raw and SmackDown.
So, as you've heard, new theme songs and new stages.
And new announcers, at least on the Raw side.
But on the SmackDown side, it's all the same.
Well, more partly, because doing commentary on Raw, we now have Vic Joseph, Charlie the King Roller, at least temporarily, and who's the other guy from 205 Live?
And the other guy from 205 Live. But once we think of his name, we will get back to you.
Now, also returning to Raw and SmackDown was Pyro.
Yes, we have not seen Pyro in absolutely yonks.
Yes, so on Raw we had several things happen.
Yes, including, well, one, Brock Lesnar attacking Rey Mysterio and Dominic.
Yes, we'll just explain this as to exactly what happened.
Yes.
Raw opened up with Rey Mysterio coming down to the ring. It's because he was scheduled to face Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship later on.
Correct.
He then decided to be interrupted. Well, he was then interrupted by the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, who then for no reason decided to lay into Rey Mysterio.
With an F5.
After this, and on commentary, Vic Joseph, Jerry Lawler, and Dio Madden
That's it. There we go. So, get back to you.
all agreed that Brock Lesnar crossed the line when he went after Rey Mysterio's son Dominic.
Who got hit into the ring post, slammed onto the floor, got introduced to Suplex City quite a few times.
And also F5'd. The one thing I will say is you can tell the kid has been training because he took those and sold them brilliantly.
He did. Obviously, Rey Mysterio is teaching him right.
So Mysterio and Dominic then leave, which means that the Universal Championship match
Take place.
has now been changed. We had a Tag Team Championship match
In which Glorious Domination defending Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode defended their championships against Heavy Machinery's Otis and Tucker.
and were successful. We also had the United States Championship match in which AJ Styles once again successfully defended against Cedric Alexander. We had a segment of Miz TV with Hulk Hogan and 16-time, even though the Chitron said 17, World Champion Ric Flair.
And this, and we'll get on to what happened in our next show, which will happen.
Just a match to be made at Crown Jewel,
Yes,
which is not Survivor Series, but we'll get on to that.
we will.
Here was when Seth Rollins' new opponent was also revealed, which would be Rusev.
So Rusev would get a Universal Championship match.
Not a lot happened in between that and the main event.
Nah, not really.
But during the main event, we had Bobby Lashley come out,
And making his comeback from injury.
but also coming out with Rusev's wife, Lana.
And this is where things get very interesting.
Yes, because they, to put it politely, got hot and steamy on the stage.
But then for Seth Rollins, the lights started going out.
And there was a fiend waiting for him.
With the mandible claw. Since when was the Fiend Mick Foley in disguise? Which led
There was a Firefly Funhouse segment,
which is quite quick.
but as the match got going, there was also a
Lightage issue.
yes, in which the Fiend came out and creeped out not just Nakamura, but also Rollins.
Then we had, for the first time in absolutely ages on SmackDown, a ladder match.
We'll get to that ladder match in a minute.
Oh yes.
There was a 8-man tag team match.
Out of nowhere.
Randy Orton teamed up with
I teamed up with
Heaven
the glorious domination
Yeah.
of Rude and Ziggler,
to take on Braun Strowman.
The Miz,
And-
the Machinery.
Yes.
But there was somebody quite famous sitting behind the barricade at ringside.
And this someone would jump in the ring and get some action. This man being Tyson Fury.
The current WBO heavyweight boxing champion.
However, Tyson, did you not see what happened last time the boxer got into a ring with a giant?
Obviously not.
Or I should say, did Strowman not see what happened?
I don't think Strowman remembers.
Then we had a wonderful ladder match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, in which it was basically a loser leaves town match.
Doing after spot, after spot, after OMG spot to make Joey Styles proud.
Kevin Owens would essentially powerbomb type thing. Shane McMahon threw a ladder, climbed the ladder that was set up, retrieved the briefcase with all the documents in it, and then say these words. Shane McMahon, you're fired! And then hit him. And then hit him with a stunner.
To hit him out the door.
Shane McMahon, you will be missed. Not!
No. There was also a segment involving the 24/7 Championship where Carmella first lost it to an artist known as Marshmallow.
But then she would win the title back from Marshmallow after disguising herself as Marshmallow.
Which makes Carmella the first woman to hold the 24/7 Championship twice.
There was also a lumberjack match between Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan.
Which Roman Reigns won thanks to a little bit of help from Daniel Bryan.
Then we get to the main event, if you can call it that.
For the WWE Championship as this is your call, Reach the Rock.
Brock Lesnar
Oh jeez.
would challenge Kofi Kingston for the championship.
It much basically went like this. Ring the bell.
Bell wins, Kingston charges at Lesnar, gets caught into an F5, 1, 2, 3, we have a new WWE champion. However, It was after the match that things got a little bit interesting.
As we heard Rey Mysterio's music.
We heard Rey Mysterio came out, but he did not come out alone, as Lesnar would stare into a face, a ghost of his past.
As Cain Velasquez, the man who stopped Lesnar's undefeated streak in MMA, came down and took down the Beast.
Hopefully this is setting something up, possibly a crown jewel.
We will see.
So that basically has SmackDown in the books as well. Now we will briefly touch at what is scheduled to take place at Hell in a Cell.
Which will take place this Sunday, or should we say tomorrow, in Sacramento, California, in the Golden One Center.
On the WWE Network. We have four confirmed matches.
That doesn't mean that more will be added.
Seth Rollins defends the Universal Championship against the Fiend's Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell.
Likewise for the Raw Women's Championship, as the man Becky Lynch defends the championship against Sasha Banks.
Also inside Hell in a Cell. Daniel Bryan will team up with Roman Reigns to take on Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
And Bayley will put her SmackDown Women's Championship on the line against the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Now, I highly doubt that these are going to be the only matches we have on the card, so next week when we do our review, we should be able to discuss a few more, which will hopefully give us a bit to talk about, although maybe they don't want to add too much until they do the draft on SmackDown next week.
Which we will also give you our reactions to as well. So until then, he's been
Lisa Rock Jones. And
I've been Sean Randy Smith, and we will see you next week for a draft show and our Hell in a Cell reactions.